Hello out there, this is Green Guy with Green Guy Finance. That's my handle on StockTwits and Twitter. If you like this video, please follow. What I've been doing is building a following off of my options trading, which I've been doing pretty good at. So, a lot of you, as I've been getting more and more of you followers, have been saying, you understand the stock trades and you understand the short trades that I do, but the options trades, you're not versed enough in options to feel comfortable following some of the trades that I do on options. So you've requested that I basically at least give you a sort of an intro to options, and that's what this video is. For those of you that I've talked to about it, my background is actually I was a medical doctor, and I graduated, came out doing medical research, and then the grants got cut with the economic recession that began. And from there, I basically decided I wanted to be my own boss, which is the reason that I got into the stock market, taking a hobby and making it a profession. And I've enjoyed it ever since. Really love what I do. But it took me a while to get where I am, so I can understand a lot of the struggles that you people have. And I think the other thing in my background that is helpful to something like this is I was a chess master, which is not understood well by many at all, and even by people that play it. It is tough articulating some of the beauty that can come out of a game that most people think is a simplistic thing. You know, that chess to checkers analogy that people do, the complexity, you can get a lot of amazing insight off of it. But at the same time, the esoteric nature of it, I can understand completely. I've given up trying to explain chess to girlfriends that I've had over the years. It does not go well. They just nod for the most part, and they're proud of you because they think that you're smart. But beyond that, it's very difficult. So I think this video here today, as it says right just in the Albert Einstein quote that I just pulled up on Google Images here, we're going to try to make this as simple as possible so that you do understand it and you can make it intuitive. Because, you know, a lot of options are math, but I really don't think you have to be good at math to do options. I think if you make it intuitive enough, it will be very easy. It just takes a little bit of learning, and beyond that, you just have to trust yourself enough to do the trade, and that's pretty much all it is. Do I feel comfortable? Yes. This is that kind of trade? Yes. Option click and then make your money. That's what the goal out of all this is. So the resources, that's what we're going to be going through primarily here. And then, like I said, a little bit of intermediate explanation of options on an actual platform. So where I started learning, when I've read damn near everything out there, because I'm an obsessive reader, but this was the first thing that I found that was really a good resource for me. The Options Insider. The Options Insider Radio Network. You can find them on a couple different audio platforms. The one I like in particular is Stitcher. Smartphone, easy. You can download them and listen to them later. And they have, as you can see off to the right here, many different actual radio shows they do. These are not episodes. These are actual entire radio focuses. Futures is an entire focus that they do. Their educational stuff is an entire subgroup of the radio things they do. But this is what the educational stuff is grouped under. Options Bootcamp. So I would highly recommend this. It's done by a couple guys out of Chicago that are fantastic ex-pit traders. They do it with a basic group every time they do this. They've written options books. And look at this. They got 48 episodes you guys can go through. Starting off here at the bottom. The basics. The first four are the real good introductory ones, I would say. And I would go through those a couple times. Stitcher, you can listen to them on double fold speed, which I really like, because I think most everybody, 95% of the population, speaks rather slowly, and for me, I have trouble focusing on people that talk very slowly. So if you're into that, I recommend it. If the one thing to be careful on Stitcher, I would say, just on an offhand note, is I had that one thing happen where I downloaded a bunch of episodes to listen later, and didn't realize that I was doing it on my cellular network, and I got like a $300 cell phone bill. So if you do download episodes to listen later, make sure you do it on Wi-Fi. They have settings in there you can play with, but be a little careful on that part, okay? But the rest should be pretty explanatory. The visual is the only part I'm really not crazy about on these guys, so I would supplement it with a visual aid, which is pretty simple, just YouTube. I use YouTube for a lot of things that people used to use, stereo manual type things for. I fixed an entire house based off YouTube, took out a toilet and etc. So, just go here, put in, I put options explained, and this is what popped up for me. I went through a couple of these and listened to them, and I picked out this one. It's not bad. Options, call options trading for beginners, call and put options trading explained. I've never heard of these guys before, but the video's not bad, so I would give it a shot if you're interested in a visual. You can pick other stuff off YouTube. This is an educational video that I'm doing, and these people are doing educational videos too, so you can pick and choose. Of course you can. You probably already know that. I don't have to say that. But yeah, so that's the resources that I would honestly recommend. That's it. I would go through Options Bootcamp and that for starters. And then as you get better, I would start to supplement with books. The one that I liked was Options as a Strategic Investment by Lawrence G. McMillan. It's a whopper. I think it's a $100 book. How many pages we got in this sucker? I've read mine at tatters. 1,000 plus pages in the book. I don't really like his Condor plays, the explanation of that, but he does a pretty good job of explaining options history, basically what expirations are on options, things like that. Okay, so the basics are out there. You just need to read it, spend a little time, and then get familiar. Okay. All right, so that sort of ends the beginner portion of that, just giving you the resources. I don't think I have to go to a chalkboard for a lot of you guys, but this is the intermediate portion. I'm just going to be going through a couple stocks and just pointing out things and actually explaining it on a actual platform for you. Okay, so for the intermediate portion here we are on a platform. This is E-Trade Pro. Just going to show you some of the parts of this that I like as a trader. This is a platform that I sort of grew up on, and I got used to over the years. Not particularly crazy about some parts of E-Trade, but I don't think you're ever going to find a platform or a company that you're going to be totally happy with. But whatever, we're here for educational purposes and options, so let's not even get into that garbage. So here we are. We're looking at the SPY. Now, when you're looking at stocks on an options basis, there's a couple things you need to look at in terms of making your money, just right off the bat. The bigger names with bigger market caps that trade a lot of options tend to be more liquid. If you've ever heard that before, more liquid just means the difference between the bid and the ask is smaller. Usually you're going to see the SPY, because this is the close of last week, but you're usually going to see the difference on Monday through the first half of Friday, so that like most of the week you're going to see about 1 to 3 to 5 cent difference between the bid and the ask. So it's very, very, very close to buying a stock conceptually. A lot of you have seen that, so you understand that. You can make a lot of really big money plays when you're doing things like that, because if you only have a 3 to 5 cent difference on the spread here, if you have a stock that moves $2.44 in a given day, you're going to make a lot of money. You can see the prices here. So what you're looking at here, the strikes, these are the in the monies. That's why they're this lighter blue. These are the out of the monies on the call side. So what you need to know about that is the at the monies. When they go from out of the money to into the money, they tend to pick up in terms of the amount of play that's going to happen on them and you start to make more money. This is the sweet spot. The sweet spot is an out of the money going into the money on both sides. So out of the money goes into the money. That's usually when you're going to see the biggest spike. And ideally what you want to see for any trade you do is that. And out of the money, go into the money, and then go further, because that's how your options really make you money. But the sweet spot, like I said initially, is the out of the money going to an at the money call. On the SPY, I've been doing these trades forever. You can make a lot of money, and I think people are sort of not aware of that. I can't understand. For a long time, I was trying to build a following, just commenting on the macro on the SPY, and I got like maybe 5 followers doing that throughout a month. So I don't think there's a ton of people out there looking at this type of stuff, but money's to be made very easily. Especially being that liquid, you can make a ton of plays. So this is just the intraday pricing on that one strike that I picked, the 190.50 call for the SPY, the S&P 500 index. You can see the price fluctuation here. 330 up to $4, and then it dipped as it went down, because Friday was pretty brutal there, and then it went up and then sunk so brutally it sunk on Friday. But you can see how you can make money off buying or selling options on this. That's pretty much, I think, as much as you need to know on this type of play. It's just these are overlooked. A lot of people don't understand options, but if you become familiar, the money's there. It's just options are leveraged plays. So going through that, just the bid, the ask, liquidity, let's take a look at the opposite type of spectrum. Oh, no. Old stock that I followed forever that I hated. Yeah, you can see this is more typical of what you see of like a less traded stock. You can see here the difference between the bid and the ask is almost a double off of the bid, which makes it much more difficult to make money off less liquid traded stocks. Most of your momos that you guys can think of will have a lot of options activity, making the bid to ask reasonable. I always say to people, I usually look for bid to ask prices that are about 10% of the difference between the two. So if just taking an example here, if your bid is 60, then you'd want your ask to be about 66. Ideally, you're not always going to get that, but that's usually what I'd look for, because in this particular case, just conceptually on a really basic level, you're going to have at least a 50-cent movement to justify that. And that's not an exact science, because you're going to have other things built into that price. But that's pretty much what I'd look for in stock selection, what's optionable and what's not optionable. Because really the only way you're going to make money off of something like these little stocks, is if you have an enormous movement. I mean enormous movement. And in those cases, you're going to make money. They're not as easy. Predicting big movements, if everybody could do that every single day, we'd all be billionaires. But let's see, it went down 5%, so 30-cent drop, right? So the difference here, we got 50-cent strikes, right? So let's look at the $5, just in terms of what happened to that on the chart, see if it traded heavily enough. Yeah, it should have traded heavily enough to give us an idea. So, charting on this intraday, let's see if you would have bought it and made any money off this. Okay, so this saying that this opened at 24 and it went to 40 cents. So not quite a double, and that's still not including the difference of the bid to ask. So if you'd seen this in the morning, you might not have made a ton, even with a 5% movement in the stock. That's how difficult they can be at times. And that's with October 18th expiration. So that's a basic start, I think, and good enough to get you guys going. So, like I said, if you have any questions on any of this, send me more. I don't mind going through particular stocks, too. I say that on every video here. But I'm going to be coming at you with some more videos, more focused down the road. This is just an intro educational video for you guys to help you out a little bit and give you something to work with. And like I said, best of luck to you out there, and let's make some money. Bye.